يا محمد يا نبي الله يا محمد يا حبيب الله يا محمد يا شفيع الله يا محمد يا رسول الله.
Assalamu alaikum everybody, my name is Hannah and I'm a recent Muslim convert or revert living in the US, and today I'm going to be sharing my story with you on why I converted to Islam. So I was raised Catholic in a pretty religious family, and growing up I always believed in God. I always had a strong relationship with him, but I struggled with the teachings of Christianity and Catholicism, especially as I got older. I would ask a lot of questions about why certain teachings were the way they were, and why we had to believe one way over another. And I could never really get answers that would satisfy me. Most people would just say like, oh, that's just how it is, you just have to believe. But personally, I had a hard time just blindly believing in the faith when I knew deep down that it didn't make sense to me, especially as I got older. And I felt like if I couldn't connect with Catholicism or Christianity, then that was it. There was no other option. At this point, looking into another religion wasn't even a thought to me because being Catholic was so rooted in my upbringing and my family life. When I started college, I was at a point in my life where I felt pretty directionless and without a purpose. I was actually introduced to Islam during college through a friend, but I never really gave it much thought. In the West, there are a lot of misconceptions about Muslims in the Middle East in general, and though I never really believed any of them, I never really sought out information about Islam. And also in the US, religion isn't really something that's typically talked about. It's not really ingrained in society. So talking about religion or faith wasn't really something that I did unless I was at church. So a couple years later, during my junior year of college, I was invited to participate in an international workshop for 2 weeks in Jordan in the Middle East. While I was there, I really discovered the beauty of Islam. So I realized just how untrue those stereotypes and misconceptions are about Islam. There I went to a mosque along with the other Muslims for Jummah or Friday prayer. I didn't understand anything because it was all in Arabic, but I just remember the feeling of peace that washed over me from the time I was in there until the time I left. So even though everything was in Arabic, I still really connected with it and I felt so close to God. And we prayed alongside the Muslims, and I was just trying to copy the movements. The physicality of the prayer was so unique to me. It was nothing that I had ever experienced before growing up Catholic. When I got back from the trip, I started researching Islam. So I got a copy of the Quran. I was watching all of these interfaith discussions. I was trying to immerse myself in the teachings of the faith, wanted to convert to Islam. So I slowly started incorporating changes into my life before I officially converted to Islam. So I transitioned my wardrobe to be more modest, and I started to dress fully covered. And in small ways, I was changing the way I would talk or act to align with the teachings of the faith. When Ramadan came around last year, I knew that I wanted to try fasting since it was one of the pillars of the faith. I didn't fast for the whole month, but I fasted for a couple weeks of it, and alhamdulillah, that was kind of what solidified my decision to convert to Islam.